Wetu.
wọ̀kùwọ̀kù lọ́rọ̀rùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ láti kéde nílé akéde tọ̀yọ́ ni ó nílò kó ṣẹ̀ mọ́ dára rẹ̀ láàmú sọpọ́ òun wọkọ̀ bọ̀ wá sílé akéde lóríta Basọ̀run nílùú Ìbàdàn mọ́.
On news around the world. Many feared dead in fresh Ebonyi boundary clash. Oyo State College of Health Science and Technology hails Governor Makinde over NYSC enrollment. On the foreign scene, U.S. eases sanctions after Venezuela oil law reforms. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on News Around the World here on BCOS Television. I am Idowu Shekoni. In the sign language corner is Shakirat Okundechi. 4 persons have been killed in Okorojo, Eso-Eda, in Eda local government area in a renewed boundary dispute between the community and neighboring Amasiri in Afikpo local government area of Ebonyi State. Several houses were razed by the assailants in the attack, which took place on Thursday night. The 2 communities have been at war since decades over land with many lives lost and property worth billions destroyed. The incident has thrown the community into mourning and renewed concerns over the persistent failure to permanently resolve the decades-old land dispute between the 2 neighboring communities. Ebonyi Commissioner for Internal Security, Eta Uka Ude, confirmed the incident in an interview in Abakaliki, the state capital, on Friday. He said he received reports of the killings by the evening of the incident, describing the act as barbaric, unlawful, and totally unacceptable. According to the commissioner, the local location where the killings occurred is not even the exact area under land dispute, making the attack more disturbing. While sympathizing with the families of the victims, the commissioner urged residents of both communities to remain calm and allow security agencies to do their work, warning against blocking major roads and disrupting public movement. The police command in Benue on Friday confirmed the killing of 4 armed bandits by operatives of Operation Zenda Joint Task Force. The command spokesperson, DSP Edet Udeme, confirmed the development in a statement in Makadi. Udeme said the bandits were neutralized in a gun duel with the police at a checkpoint in Orakam, Ogbadibo local government area of the state. She said the officers, while on duty on Thursday, stopped a black Golf vehicle, but occupants of the vehicle tried to stop them from performing their duty. She said the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ifeanyi Menari, has commended the bravery and operational efficiency of the officers and reassured the public of the command's commitment to safeguarding lives and property across the state. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, has declared that a strong warrior ethos remains the bedrock of combat readiness, unit cohesion, and operational success of the Nigerian Army, warning that post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and drug abuse are emerging internal threats capable of weakening frontline effectiveness. The COAS spoke at a high-level seminar organized by the Army Headquarters Department of Transformation and Innovation, held at the Headquarters 8th Division Auditorium. The event drew senior officers and soldiers from the Theater Command of the Joint Task Force Northwest, Operation Fasanyama OPFY, and other key stakeholders. Represented by the Theater Commander, OPFY, Major General Wara Idris, The Army chief said modern military operations demand not only advanced weaponry and tactics, but also mentally resilient and morally grounded soldiers. He noted that prolonged counterinsurgency and internal security operations across the country have exposed troops to intense psychological pressure, making issues such as PTSD and substance abuse critical concerns for military leadership. According to him, the seminar was conceived as a proactive platform to deepen awareness, encourage open dialogue, and develop practical strategies for strengthening unit cohesion and safeguarding the mental health of soldiers. Indigents of Ebonyi State Indigents of Ebonyi State trading in Anambra State has distanced themselves from any planned protest over the closure of the Onitsha main market, declaring full support for Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo's insistence on full commercial activities on Mondays. The Ebonyi Town Union in Anambra State made its position known in a statement issued by its President General Moses Igwe in Onitsha on Friday. Igwe urged Ebonyi traders to avoid actions capable of disrupting public peace or endangering their lives and businesses. He said the Monday business policy of Soludo was designed to protect traders' interests and strengthen the state's economy, stressing that repeated market closures only deepen losses for traders. He therefore called on traders across Anambra State to fully resume business on Mondays, emphasizing that economic stability and peaceful coexistence, not protests, remain the surest path to collective progress. They gave the assurance during an interactive session with the governor following the closure of the Onitsha main market and the prolonged Monday sit-at-home that has crippled commercial and economic activities in the southeast. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has given the federal government a 4-week ultimatum to fully implement outstanding agreements on salaries, allowances, and welfare, warning that failure could trigger renewed industrial action. The decision was taken at the end of the association's National Executive Council meeting and scientific conference held from January 25 to 29, 2026 in Jos, Plateau State. In a communique signed by its president, Dr. Muhammad Sulaiman, the association acknowledged the efforts of President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and other stakeholders in addressing some of its demands. The NEC commended the reinstatement of disengaged doctors at the Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, and praised the intervention of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment and the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, IPPIS, in resolving issues surrounding the outstanding 25 and 35% consolidated medical salary structure, CONMES, and accoutrement allowance arrears. However, the association expressed concern over delays in issuing the circular affirming CONMES 3 as the approved entry level for medical doctors, as well as the continued non-payment of the professional allowance captured in the 2026 Appropriation Act. You're watching news around the world on BCOS television. We pause for a short commercial break. Please don't go away.
Look at this report.
What can we offer you?
Don't worry.
Huh? Mr. Chef, it's a 2-finger crush.
Pass the beef and crayfish.
With Mr. Chef, a simple crush turns meals into culture and moments into memories.
This is the true taste of home.
And culture. Chef of life.
With Nivea Dry Deo, you can keep moving forward in life with confidence. Nivea Dry Deo. Derma 72-hour active protection against sweat and odor with 0% alcohol to prevent irritation. Stay dry and fresh all day long. Skin is for moving forward, Nivea is for skin. Your favorite Nivea Deo, now in a smaller pack size.
Whenever man pikin gets pain for back, I dey collect 2 tablets of Panadol Panadol Extra sharp sharp for make tough pain comot sharp sharp, like pain for head, teeth, muscle, and pain don finally comot for my body oh. Try Panadol Extra.
It's good to have you back. Once politics comes into play, economic considerations often take a backseat, a situation evident in the ongoing agitations for the creation of new states across the country. An economist, Dr. Adekunle Onile, and a legal practitioner, Honorable Lanre Aguru, made these observations while discussing the topic, agitations for new states, economic viability, on the BCOS Current Affairs Breakfast Program, AM 120. Our reporter, Fedora Folagboye, who monitored the program, reports.
The renewed agitation for the creation of new states in Nigeria has continued to generate debates over its economic sustainability and underlying political motives. Experts on BCOS Current Affairs Program, AM 120, examined whether the demands are driven by genuine developmental needs or largely influenced by political and ethnic considerations. Speaking on the program, an economist, Dr. Adekunle Onile, observed that the clamor for new states is largely political, aimed at redistributing resources from existing states rather than addressing pressing national needs. He noted that Nigeria's current structural framework is still weak for the creation of additional states, stressing that new states should only emerge when there is clear evidence of economic viability.
In any closed system, in any system, what one should always think first and foremost is efficient allocation of resources, not just allocation of resources. All these allocations to the states, the so-called newly created states, are they efficiently managed? Are the masses of the citizens better for it? Are the gains of state creations for ordinary people or for a special class of people who now become special class with access to privileges and perks of offices?
Also contributing, a legal practitioner, Honorable Lanre Aguru, explained that agitations for new states often arise from feelings of marginalization among certain ethnic groups. He emphasized that the challenge is not necessarily the size of a state, but its diversity, adding that proper recognition and inclusion of diverse groups would significantly reduce such agitations.
We had 3 major regions before we had Midwest, making 4. Okay. Kaduna was headquarters of the northern region. Enugu was the headquarters of what? Of the eastern region. And you have Ibadan as the headquarters of what? Of the western region. Kaduna is a state of its own today. I know you have a sigh of relief. Kaduna is a state of its own today. Former regional capital. Enugu is a state of its own today. Former regional capital. Ibadan still remains the what? The capital of Oyo State.
Is that the basis?
That is the basis.
Really?
That is the basis, basically. But unfortunately, it was an oversight on the part of Ibadan. When others were agitating, make us capital, make us state. They felt like laissez-faire. Okay, like we are enjoying the whole thing. We don't need to. So they looked at that in the past. Where were we? They were regional capital. The other 2 regional capitals are now what? Are states of their own.
Both speakers called on governments and relevant stakeholders to ensure that any decision on state creation is guided strictly by necessity, inclusiveness, and economic viability, rather than political pressure or sectional demands. Fedora Folagboye, BCOS News.
As part of activities marking the 50th anniversary of Oyo State, the State Deputy Governor, Barrister Bayo Lawal, today led Muslim dignitaries to observe a special Jummah service at the Ojaba Central Mosque, Ibadan. The chief imam of Ibadan land, Sheikh Abdul Ghani Agbotomokekere, who led the prayers, emphasized patriotism and loyalty to the state in his sermon. Our staff reporter, Adebayo Abdurrafi, has the details.
A special Jumat service held as part of activities to commemorate the Golden Jubilee of Oyo State attracted top government officials in the administration of Governor Seyi Makinde, led by the Deputy Governor, Barrister Bayo Lawal. The event also drew the presence of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja Arusa I, a former governor of the state and the chairman, Council of Traditional Rulers in the state. Delivering the sermon, the chief imam of Ibadan land, Sheikh Abdul Ghani Agbotomokekere, congratulated the government and people of Oyo State on the attainment of the milestone age. He described love for one's nation, state, and community as an essential part of faith, urging residents of Oyo State not only to wish the state well, but to demonstrate such love through patriotism and responsible citizenship. In his remarks, the Deputy Governor, Barrister Bayo Lawal, said citizens of Oyo State have every reason to celebrate and give thanks to God for the peace and steady progress witnessed in the state under successive administrations.
Today's Juma service was meant for Thanksgiving, for creation of Oyo State, and since 1976 till date, it has been development galore in Oyo State. So we have come here to appreciate Almighty Allah, and we supplicated for more progress, peaceful coexistence, and development in Oyo State.
The chairman, Oyo State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Muslim Wing, Sheikh Wahab Atere, alongside the special advisor to the governor on Islamic affairs, Alhaji Abdurrashid Abdulaziz, later led the congregation in special prayers for continued peace, tranquility, and development of the state. Dignitaries at the special Jumat service included a former deputy governor, engineer Hamid Badamasi, the deputy speaker, Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Mohammed Fadeyi, the secretary to the state government, Professor Musiba Obabatunde, chairman, Oyo State 58th Anniversary Committee, Honorable Saheed Fijabi, 7 commissioners, local government chairmen, board chairmen, the Giwa Adini of Oyo State, engineer Muftau Opun Salau, the Baba Saleh Muslumi, Chief Nureni Akombi, and Professor Kamil Koyejo Olosho, among others. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
We have another timeout. Please stay tuned.
This Ramadan, it's not the season to hide, it's the season to let my beauty shine. Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Lotion 5-in-1 Complete Care. Discover deep nourishment with cocoa butter, deep moisture serum, and vitamin E for long-lasting moisture and protection from dry and ashy skin without the greasy feel. Get the Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Glow this Ramadan. Skin is for always shining. Nivea is for skin.
Welcome back. The State College of Health Sciences and Technology, Ibadan, has congratulated the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, on the 50th anniversary of the state, describing the governor's achievements since 2019 till date as monumental and highly commendable. The Governing Council Chairman of Oyo State College of Health Sciences and Technology, Ibadan, Honorable Babatunde Olaniyan, and the college provost, Pharmacist Mrs. Oluyemisi Oyewo, gave the commendation at the matriculation ceremony held in the college hall. The report is presented by Afolakemi Akombi.
50 During the period of my study in this college, I shall not belong to any secret cult. I shall not in any way aid or abet cultism or fail to disclose to the authorities of the college or to the...
That was the highlights of the matriculation program of Oyo State College of Health Science and Technology, Ele Ibadan, held in the school hall. The provost of the college, pharmacist Mrs. Oluyemisi Oyewo, congratulated the graduating students for meeting the admission requirements, urging them to always exhibit discipline, commitment, and excellence in their academic pursuits. The BCOS boss said Oyo State College of Health Sciences and Technology has over the years built a strong reputation for producing skilled, commitments, and ethical health professionals who contribute meaningful to the healthcare system of Oyo State, Nigeria, and beyond, as the college programs are designed in line with national and international standards, with a strong emphasis on professionalism, practical skills, and community-oriented healthcare delivery.
They should remember the primary purpose for which they come to the school. They should do less of socializing and less of social media distractions.
Earlier, in their opening speech, the registrar of Oyo State College of Health Sciences and Technology, Mrs. Oladupe Ayola, called on the matriculants to always obey the rules and regulations of the college and do their best in their academic pursuits. Mrs. Ayola commended the management and the college governing council in moving the health institution forward.
Dear matriculating students, it is a great privilege to be admitted into this college because we are one of the foremost institutions in Nigeria established for the training of middle-level healthcare service provider. I made bold to say that we are the best in the training of middle-level healthcare service providers in the nation. Our reputation precedes us.
In his keynote address, the College Governing Council Chairman, Honorable Babatunde Olaniyan, thanked the management, the staff, and council members for doing their best in keeping the school afloat in its academic programs. Honorable Babatunde Olaniyan expressed his delight over the unprecedented achievements of the college in recent times.
If you look at our students' performance in national examination, you will discover they are always almost at 90%. And that is to show that the managements are working. If you are presenting students for external exam, and they are not getting anything less than 90%, it shows the management is working.
Some of the matriculants felt excited over the admission, promised to keep the flag of the college flying. 1,029 students were matriculated, signaling unprecedented developments in the history of the 93-year-old college established in 1933. In the meantime, the 2026-2027 academic admission exercise of Oyo State College of Health Sciences and Technology, Ele Ibadan, will commence in March this year for admission of new students into its 23 health-related academic programs.
Domestic violence often remains unseen, not because it does not occur, but because it is shrouded in silence. Within many homes, abuse is hidden behind closed doors as fear, shame, and control prevent victims from speaking out. Experts say domestic violence cannot be effectively addressed if it remains hidden. Breaking the silence is a critical step towards protecting victims, holding offenders accountable, and building safer communities. Our reporter, Temitope Ogunleye, takes a closer look at the issue. Our report is presented by Frances Aino.
Silence often emerges early in the circle of domestic violence. As tension builds, victims may choose not to speak in order to avoid further conflict or harm. Injuries are concealed, conversations avoided, and daily routines maintained as though nothing has happened. Threats from abusers, financial dependence, concern for children, and fear of social rejection all contribute to the reluctance to report abuse. In communities where domestic violence is still regarded as a private family matter, victims are often pressured to endure rather than seek help. Former chairperson of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, Barrister Deborah Oluyemisi Collins, described domestic violence as a growing social concern affecting both men and women, though women remain the most vulnerable. She explained that domestic violence manifests in various forms: physical, verbal, psychological, and financial abuse, often leaving victims traumatized and withdrawn due to fear and inability to speak openly about their experiences. She, however, noted that several homes and organizations exist to support victims by offering encouragement, protection, and rehabilitation.
Yes, that was silence. They should speak out. They should speak out. There is an adage in Yoruba that says that "Ẹnu tó bá pàdé ló máa ń rùn." You know, when you speak out, when you open your mouth, you have breath go out, you have air come in, and there is less odor, from such a mouth. So when you speak out, you seek for help. It doesn't mean we see a whole lot of, a lot of stories of victims of abuse that had passed to the great beyond. We find some of them that have been, reduced to vegetables. They've gone into depression. You understand? If they are spoken out on time, probably they will have found help, that will help them, strengthen them, counsel them, and be able to empower them. You understand? To live. The fact that you live alone doesn't mean you don't have a life. So I will encourage victims of violence or domestic abuse to please speak out. Tell a friend to help you.
Speaking with BCOS News, marriage counselor Dr. Olufemi Akinpelumi said society has not done enough to protect victims, largely because many are afraid to come forward. He added that some victims remain trapped in abusive relationships under the guise of religious beliefs, further deepening their silence.
People are afraid to say it out. How do you support somebody that has not come to you? But I know we have lawyers who advertise that if there's any marital violence, people can approach them. But unfortunately, not many people. The moment a woman separates, she will be looking for another husband or another wife. I think that is why some people are hiding under the pretext that they have to stay. And we can see the repercussion of this. At least a famous singer was hanged to death by her husband. And when this happened, so many stories came out, hidden ones. So I think fear or religious basis will be termed as a reason why people refuse to expose all these evil things that are passing through.
The professionals urge victims of domestic violence to break the silence by reporting to appropriate authorities, seeking help from counselors, or removing themselves from unsafe environments, rather than suffering in silence.
All right, we'll take another time out. We'll be right back.
I dey collect 2 tablets of Panadol Extra sharp. Whenever man pikin gets pain for back, I dey collect 2 tablets of Panadol Extra sharp for make tough pain comot sharp. Like pain for head, teeth, muscle, and pain don finally comot for my body oh. Try Panadol Extra.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Due to the increasing number of people, especially young women, falling victim of violent crimes like murder through online acquaintances, youths have been admonished to be extra wary of online dating or social media relationships. The warning came from a relationship coach and marriage counselor, Mr. Dayo Olajide, while speaking with BCOS reporter Bimisola Adebayo on the positive and not so positive sides of online dating. Bimisola now reports.
The importance of social media in the present day-to-day activities of man cannot be overemphasized, as it offers numerous benefits and opportunities, which ranges from connection, networking, business, information, education, and a host of others. Social media over the years has been a space people, most especially youth, visit to look for friends or search for love or other forms of companionship.
It came with a lot of stress, but soon it got to a point where he was asking me to send pictures of myself, like nudes of myself, and I was not in support of such acts, so the relationship ended.
Online dating, you don't really see each other, you don't know so much about each other. So it is what I tell you that I have that you believe in. That doesn't mean that later, later it might turn out to be something good.
While some met their love match, some unfortunately met their death. Reports have that about 88 women have been killed within January to June 2025, which means that at least a woman is killed within every 49 hours. While there isn't a specific count of deaths directly linked to social media use in Nigeria, several incidents highlight the potential dangers. Among such is a case involving a final year student, Afsol Lawal, who was murdered by a self-acclaimed Islamic cleric she met on Facebook, while another 21-year-old student, Awesu Oluwafumike's body was found at a refuge dump after she went missing following a call from a friend she met online. Aside that, the aforementioned are few out of the many that have gone unreported. Many women met their deaths through a service they call hookups or sex trade. Speaking on the dark side, a relationship coach and marriage counselor, Mr. Dayo Olajide, expressed the view that social media is a world on its own and people shouldn't be fooled by what they see, read, or hear on the space.
Don't put all your life out there, because people that come for you online actually come for what they see, not for who you really are. So if you put a wrong version of yourself out there, they will have a wrong impression about you. Because, like, for example, a lady keeps posting that she's in Dubai, she's in this place, that place, Abuja, all these luxurious places. That's something that can attract a guy who wants to take advantage of you. Unfortunately, before the guy gets to know that that's not who you are, you might have lost your life or lost something valuable.
He stressed that if it is necessary to establish a connection via social media, people should ensure they do background checks, ensure accountability is established, and carry along loved ones.
Don't go on love expeditions without telling people that love you. And in fact, there is nothing wrong with you connecting the person you met online with somebody that's your custodian, even if it's still online acquaintance. You might not have met, but that person has met your mentor, maybe your pastor, your mother, your friend. I think young people shouldn't delve into online relationship in isolation.
To stay safe, it is essential to exercise caution while interacting with people online, especially when meeting strangers in person. It is pertinent to always have it at the back of one's mind that not all that glitters are gold. Bimisola Adebayo, BCOS News.
There is no doubt that Nigeria faces various cyber threats like hacking, phishing, ransomware, and online fraud, leading to financial losses, data breaches, and reputational damage. In this report, Olamekwosi Ishola critically examines the effect of cybercrime on Nigeria and various steps taken by the government to curtail the menace. Here is his report.
Cybercrime is a widespread problem in Nigeria with various forms of attacks targeting individuals
and businesses. Common offenses included internet fraud, identity theft, ransomware attacks, cyber staking, and ATM POS terminal manipulation. Cybercrime Prohibition and Prevention Act 2025 and its subsequent amendments provide the legal framework for addressing cybercrimes in Nigeria. Nigeria has established specialized units like the Cybercrime Prosecution Unit and the National Cybercrime Center to investigate, prosecute, and coordinate efforts against cybercrime. Despite these efforts, challenges persist, including the evolving nature of cyber threat, the need for better cyber-specific procedural laws, and the need for increased public awareness. In a chat with Head of Technical Services, Nigerian Communications Commission, Engineer Abraham Osademi, said ending cybercrimes in Nigeria is a collective task.
Cyber security is everybody's concern. One of the things is that you and I and everybody should understand what cyber crime is, how can we keep ourselves safe, and what role do you and I have to play. So it's something that's enlightening individuals. So even though, because there are some common things you do, some information you share that you don't even know it's a threat. So if everybody is aware and everybody plays their part, that is even a major shift.
According to Engineer Osademi, the Commission will continue to work with relevant stakeholders to reduce the menace.
The most critical part is human like me and you. So if we understand that this is a cybersecurity risk and we try to curb it, we have solved part of the problem, a huge part of the problems. So that is to say that your understanding of what even cybercrime is, how you can be secure, is a huge part of ensuring that cybersecurity threats are minimized.
Nigeria growing digital economy, particularly in e-commerce and financial transactions, is vulnerable to cyber attacks, which can disrupt operations and hinder economic growth. The Nigerian government manages sensitive data, including citizen information and critical infrastructure details, making cybersecurity a national security priority. Olamiposi Ishola, BCOS News.
Over now to the sports segment of the news. Please don't go anywhere.
Good evening and welcome to the sports segment of the evening news. My name is Toby Ajewale. Ex-Nigeria Football Federation boss Amaju Pinnick has expressed strong disappointment over the Super Eagles' failure to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. In an interview on Sunday, Olise's Global Football Insights, he claimed that if he were still in charge, Nigeria would have secured a spot. With Africa now allocated up to 10 qualifying places for the expanded tournament, co-hosted by the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico, Pinnick said he honestly didn't see this coming and insisted there was really no basis for Nigeria not to be among them. He referenced Nigeria's successful qualification for the 2018 World Cup from a tough group as evidence of what could have been achieved. Our transfer update, where Nigerian centre-back Uli Sanda has parted ways with South African side Orlando Pirates after mutually agreeing to terminate his contract early. The Buccaneers confirmed the defender requested the release following discussions with club management. Nda, a Super Eagles international, departs the club after his time in South Africa and to Europe, where the knockout playoffs of the 2025-2026 UEFA Champions League are set, where the teams from 9th to 24th facing off in two-legged ties starting on February 17th to 18th. Highlights include Benfica taking on Real Madrid just 2 weeks after Antoine Trubin's dramatic 98-minute goal helped Jose Mourinho's side secure a stunning 4-2 league phase victory over the Spanish giants. Newcastle will face Azerbaijani champions Karabakh, while PSG meets Ligue 1 rivals Monaco. Other ties sees Bodo Glimt versus Inter Milan, Galatasaray versus Juventus, Club Brugge versus Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund versus Atalanta, and Olympiacos versus Bayer Leverkusen. Top 8 finishes: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester City, and Tottenham advanced directly to the last 16. The last 16 draw takes place on February 27th with the final set for May 30th at the Budapest Puskás Arena. Still with football, Liverpool boss Arne Slot has confirmed versatile defender Jeremy Frimpong will be out for a few weeks with a groin injury picked up early in the 6-0 Champions League win over Karabakh on Wednesday. Slot noted it's not as bad as they thought, offering some relief, but the 25-year-old will miss Saturday's Premier League clash with Newcastle. Well, Conor Bradley out for the season and Joe Gomez sidelined for a short term. Liverpool face a right-back shortage. Slot also said striker Alexander Isak won't be rushed back from his broken leg and ankle recovery. Finally, in sport news tonight from tennis, Carlos Alcaraz battled through cramps, a medical timeout, and a near collapse to edge Alexander Zverev in a thrilling 5-set epic with a 6-4, 7-6, 6-7, 6-7, 7-5 victory, lasting 5 hours and 27 minutes. The world number one recovered from 2 sets up. The match, which is the third longest men's match in Australian Open history, saw the world number one recover from 2 sets up to trailing, then staged an incredible comeback in the decider after Zverev served for the match. Buoyed by the Melbourne crowd, Alcaraz reached his first Australian Open final, where he could potentially lift his first title at the Rod Laver Arena. And that will be all, and it's back to news around the world. My name is Toby Ajowoli.
Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, has signed into law a reform bill that will pave way for increased privatization in the South American country's nationalized oil sector. This is in fulfilling a key demand from her United States counterpart, President Donald Trump. Foreign Desk editor Falashade Akintola compiled details of this story and others presented by Bimbo Akombi.
On Thursday, Rodriguez held a signing ceremony with a group of state oil workers. She hailed the reform as a positive step for Venezuela's economy. The ceremony came within hours of the National Assembly, dominated by members of Rodriguez's United Socialist Party, passing the reform. Since the U.S. military's abduction of Venezuela's former leader, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife, Celia Flores, on January 3, the Trump administration has sought to pressure President Rodriguez to open the country's oil sector to outside investment. Thus, this legislation will give private firms control over the sale and production of Venezuelan oil. It will also require legal disputes to be resolved outside of Venezuelan courts, a change long sought by foreign companies who argued that the judicial system in the country is dominated by the ruling Socialist Party. While Rodriguez signed the reform law, the Trump administration simultaneously announced it would loosen some sanctions restricting the sale of Venezuelan oil. Syria's Kurdish-led forces have reached a comprehensive agreement with the government to integrate with the Syrian army. The interim government in Damascus has been fighting an offensive in the north of the country against the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, over recent weeks as it seeks to consolidate control of the country following the overthrow of longtime leader Bashar al-Assad in December 2024. However, a ceasefire over the past week also has developed into an agreement for a phased integration of the Kurdish military forces into the army, according to an SDF statement issued on Friday. Shortly afterwards, Syrian State TV confirmed the agreement, which will also see the gradual integration of Kurdish civil institutions into state structures, reporting that government officials said it would be implemented immediately. The agreement follows the army's seizure of swaths of northern and northeastern territories in the last 3 weeks from the SDF. Under the government, forces will withdraw from the front lines. Government units will deploy to the centers of the cities of Asaka and Kwamishili, and local security forces will be emerged. And finally, Burkina Faso's junta announced that it plans to dissolve all political parties whose activities have been suspended since the military ruler seized power in 2022. Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over in a September 2022 coup after toppling another junta and has sharply muzzled dissenting voices since then. Parties were previously banned from holding public gatherings but still allowed to operate internally. A draft law dissolving political parties will now be sent to the Transitional Legislative Assembly as soon as possible, said Territorial Administration Minister Emily Zabo. The assets of dissolved parties will be transferred to the state, he added. The decision, he continued, aims to preserve national unity, strengthen the coherence of government actions, and pave the way for reforming political governance. Traore's 2022 coup ousted Paul Henry Sandaogo Dambida, who had taken power only 9 months earlier. Bimbo Akambi, BCOS News.
To end news around the world, here again are the top stories. 4 persons have been killed in Okorojo, also Eda, in Eda local government area in a renewed boundary dispute between the community and neighboring Namasiri in Afipo local government area of Aboyi State. The State College of Health Sciences and Technology, Eleyele Ibadan, has congratulated the State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, on the 50th anniversary of the state, describing the governor's achievements since 2019 till date as monumental and highly commendable. We also told you that Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, has signed into law a reform bill that will pave way for increased privatization in the South American country's nationalized oil sector. The BCOS website is live. Kindly visit it at www.bcostv.com. You can also watch us on GoTV, channel 134, and on StarTimes, channel 113. Now, before I go, don't join hoodlums in threatening the peaceful coexistence of the country, for it is only in an atmosphere of peace that development thrives. That's the news around the world. Many thanks for watching. Good night.